Hello everybody and welcome to SnackTube. Today we've got a lasagna. A simple intro for a simple dish. Yes, lasagna. Simply from Iceland's freezers. So this is part of their range. I don't know if they have a name for it, but it's basically their cheapo range. Like, it's their absolute cheapest rubbish food that they do. And I've reviewed a few items from this range on the channel before. They're hit and miss. Some of them are okay. That's about as much as I would say about them. They're okay. And then some of them are revolting. Like, some of them are really, really disgusting. This is a lasagna, so it can't be that bad, right? Most lasagnas are okay, even the bad ones. So hopefully this will be okay. But yeah, I'll try and put maybe some links in the cards to some of the other basic bitch meals that you get from Iceland that I've reviewed before, because there's quite a lot of them. Like, there's loads and loads of different ones. You get lasagnas, you get different pasta dishes. I think there's a breakfast in one. There's one that's like toad in the hole. There's all sorts. So yeah, if you want cheap, then this is the range for you. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you can't expect a lot from them. You know, this was just over £1. The whole range used to be £1, but now they're a bit more expensive than that, just because cost of living crisis and you know what. So yeah, it shouldn't be brilliant, but hopefully it will be edible. So let's have a look. So what have we got on here? There is a full description. So it says it's cooked minced beef and pork in a bolognese sauce layered with sheets of pasta topped with a white sauce and red cheddar cheese. Sounds nice enough. It's a 400 grams. There's your list of ingredients if you want to have a wee look at them. There's not a lot more really to tell about this. They have a quality promise, which is yeah, I don't know if they should have that, to be honest. Packed in Dublin. So it's not even packed in the UK. I mean, it's close, but it's not quite the UK. Yeah, you can't recycle the film that comes on it. Something quite surprising about this actually was that, you know, it comes with a plastic film over the top of the tray, which you have to stab before you cook it. When I took it off, it actually came off in one big bit. It didn't just rip, which usually these cheap things do, but it came off on one big bit. So that's a thumbs up in the good column there. So let's go through the nutritional information, I suppose. In fact, ingredients-wise, let's just cover our allergens. So it's got wheat, milk, for sure, but may contain egg, fish, and soya. So if you've got any of those allergens, stay away. So this says it contains 1 serving, which is fair enough. So per pack oven baked. I did it in the microwave, but we'll just go by this. Don't imagine it affects the calories whether you nuke it or bake it. So calories, you've got 563 calories. Seems reasonable. Seems a bit low for a lasagna of this size, to be honest. But I guess there's not really a lot of cheese on it. Fat, 25.7 grams, of which 7.2 grams of that saturates. It's not bad. 56.1 grams of carbs, 7.5 grams of that sugar, so quite carby. Quite a lot of pasta in it, to be fair. 4.9 grams of fiber, 24.4 grams of protein, and then 2.1 grams of salt. So yeah, quite high in the salt, the fat, but ultimately not terrible. But that's probably because there's not really a lot in it. We will find out. So yeah, anything else that we need to know from this? Not really. I cooked this in the microwave. It took 11 minutes in the microwave. You can do it in the oven, but it takes 40 minutes. So I'll show you what it looks like. So there it is there. You can see there is a sort of bit of cheese on the top. When that's frozen, when you first take it out, it really doesn't look like a lot of cheese at all. It's like a very small sprinkling. But because it's melted, it's kind of spread out a little bit, but still, it's nowhere near enough cheese for a lasagna. I always pack mine. Yeah, and I think if I was having this as an actual meal rather than just trying it for you guys, I would definitely heap a lot more cheese on the top of that. And look, it's not even filling up halfway, to the top of the thing. So it's very, very small lasagna. It's like 2 stacks maybe. We'll count the layers. But let's give it a try. So this is Iceland lasagna. Let's give it the old taste test, shall we? We'll cut a bit right down the middle. You know, we'll be a bit weird and cut it right down the centre. Boom. And try and cut a square out, and we can count the layers, shall we? It's a bit more humped. Humped? There's a bit more, yeah, in the middle than there is in the sides. So let's see. So that would be, is that a bottom? Is there a bottom pasta layer? Yeah, 1, 2, 3 layers. 3 layers of pasta. All right, let's do it. Lasagne. Can you see? Seems reasonably saucy. Quite hot. Right. I guess the main thing that I'm getting from this is that it's very, very saucy. The sauce, I think mostly it kind of feels like the cheese sauce on the top, or the white sauce. And that's quite creamy. The tomatoey sauce with the beef and pork in it, doesn't have a huge amount of flavour. I don't feel like there's a lot of herbs in that. Certainly the sauce looks very just red. There's not a lot of bits in there, like green bits that would represent herbs. I think there are some herbs in it. Salt, garlic puree, basil, dried oregano, and black pepper. There should be in there. But yeah, it's not particularly herby. There's not a lot of meat, really. Yeah, I mean, you can tell there's meat in there, but there's not a lot of it. And the tiny little bits of mince that you get, not cooked particularly well, slightly chewy. Yeah, slightly chewy, but because there's not a lot of it, it's not, you know, doesn't hold it back too much. It's not particularly in the way. It's a bit bland. Yeah, the sauce is, like the tomato sauce is quite flavourless. Not a lot of flavour to it really. And it points a bit watery tasting as well. Actually got a decent chunk of meat in that mouthful. Yeah. A bit boring. You know, I want a meatier sauce, more meat in there. I want more flavour from the herbs and the spices. The white sauce, because there's not a lot of layers of the tomato, the white sauce kind of overtakes it a bit, which makes it quite boring actually. And then there's no real cheesiness to it at all. You know, the cheese might as well not even be there because you cannot taste the cheese. You don't get any texture from the cheese, nothing like that. I think I was having this again, which I probably won't. I would like grate my own cheese and then smother it in it, just to give it a bit of cheesiness and a bit of gooiness. Maybe get a bit of a cheese pool going. But yeah, overall, can't complain too much. You know, it's really cheap for what it is, so I can't complain a lot really. You know, it's food. It would be reasonably filling. You know, there's pasta in there, there's tomato, there's meat, so it hits all the different food groups, I guess. It's just not particularly exciting. Yeah, not a lot of flavours to it. Needs more layers, needs more cheese, needs more herbs and spices, and probably a bit more salt. So yeah, it's missing a lot of things that makes a lasagna good. It's just very, very plain and very boring. So reasonably inoffensive, you know, it's cheap if you're just wanting something really inoffensive for someone who has boring taste buds to eat, then sure, go for it. But yeah, you could get a million different lasagnas that are better than this, whether it's a store-bought one or you make one yourself. You know, that's probably, is it the worst lasagna I've ever had? Maybe not, because you get lasagnas with like ricotta in them, and I don't like ricotta. But yeah, it's okay. It fills a gap, and it's on a budget, so there you are. Well, that'll do for today. Thanks very much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the wee bell to get notifications anytime a new video comes out. And of course, let me know in the comments, what's your take on Iceland's cheapo range? You know, I don't buy from Iceland a lot anymore. I used to go there all the time, but I just find that for the most part, their stuff isn't any cheaper than anywhere else now. And yeah, I'd rather go to a supermarket or Marks and Spencer's or somewhere and get some good quality food for the same or a little bit more money than buy this stuff out of Iceland, because it's not good quality and it's not that cheap. So there you go. But that'll do. Thanks very much, guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Take it easy.